I'm Taylor, and I'm the owner of Radiate Prints, and today we have Jay Bastardo on to talk all things Villa Verde, Bella Green, and Harvey's breakfast restaurant here in Greenville. But we aren't just talking shop, we're talking about what it's really like to start in the Dominican Republic and come to the United States at 15 years old with $5 in his wallet. Jay made it from coming here with nothing to building 4 successful businesses here in Greenville. And we talk about the hardships. Most of all, we talk about faith and what it really means for Christ to run your business. I hope you'll enjoy it. Welcome to Shop Talk with Radiate Prints, where we interview entrepreneurs to hear their story, and hopefully we share some things that are inspiring to you as people who want to be better leaders. And today I'm here with Jay.
Hello.
And I'm going to let you just get going. Just tell us about yourself. What do you do in Greenville?
I'm Jay Bastardo. I guess because it's an entrepreneur thing, I normally start with saying I'm the husband of Bastardo. That's kind of the cool thing about me. Being married to my wife. And then I'm dad to Maya and Jojo, which are 2 crazy kids who are crazy.
How old are they?
God, believe it or not, my son hates this because lately everywhere we go, they think I'm his brother. But he's 21. Okay. I got a 21-year-old boy named Jojo. He's a junior, actually getting ready to be a senior in UNC Wilmington.
Oh, wow.
Does track. And then I got a 10-year-old crazy little girl named Maya Bastardo, who's the life of the party. She's a gymnast.
Oh, wow. Cool.
She's a pageant girl. If you've been in our restaurants, you know my kids.
Okay. I'll say I usually ate the food truck in college.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So my husband came to Greenville to go to ECU. He graduated high school in 2016. So he was there, and when did y'all start the food truck?
The food truck went to the college crowd, 2014, 2015 there.
So he was in there during that, and he raves about it. Like, he still remembers, like, how good the nachos were. Uh-huh.
No way.
Yeah.
That's way cool.
Uh-huh. And we used to go to GCF church.
Yeah.
And they love to cater some Villa Verde.
Yeah, and we did a lot of the burns with the food truck as well.
Yeah. So that's kind of how I was first introduced through your food. And I love it.
Cool. No, the food truck, those were, I can now say those were the good old days.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, heck yeah. I love a food truck.
What did you like about the food truck?
Freedom, what it represents, what it does to the soul. I'm a people. Everybody that knows a little bit about Jay, they know that I'm a people guy. I'm all about community and people. And the cool thing about a food truck, you take it wherever the need is at, right? Like, you can, if it's for a festival, you can take it there. But, I tell everyone we've done caterings as small as a couple, like literally a couple.
Oh, wow.
And we've done as many as 7,000 at the installment at ECU a few chancellors ago.
You can count time in chancellors at this point.
Right. And we've done it all, and the cool thing is, again, you can take it to wherever the need is at. You can do community outreach, or you could do caterings, or you can go and serve a bunch of drunk college students on 5th and Harding at 3 a.m. like we did. It was fun. It was really fun.
That is fun. Yeah. Do you do mostly brick and mortar now, or do you still do?
No, we have a food truck. Man, I don't know. I'll say some of that. We just finished probably the biggest deal we've ever done, and it was all done through food trucks.
Okay.
I think the world will know more about it as soon as Josh helps me put something together to let it out.
You can't give us any teasers.
Let's just say it's related to the largest show in entertainment history.
Ooh. I think we might have a guess.
You might have an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that all you can tell us?
That's all I can say right now.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, thinking about how you just did your biggest deal ever with this project.
Yeah.
Was that is it your biggest deal you've done as far as like food?
Financially, yeah. But no, it's what it represented more than anything to not just me, the team.
Yeah.
What it represents for Greenville, to do something of that magnitude in our community, I think it goes beyond just what it represents financially. I think that comes and goes, but, it's a big win for our team. definitely a big win for Greenville
yeah.
to have things of that caliber happening in our back door. It's pretty exciting.
I agree. And, hearing you say that, I think we should take it back to the beginning.
Okay.
Can you tell us about kind of like your story of like growing up?
Oh, you taking it too far.
Can we go way back or?
You can. We can go wherever you want. Oh, man, that's there's a lot of that. I think, in the environment and the climate we are in right now due to immigration policies changing and all that stuff, it's definitely a sensitive subject, right? I'm an immigrant. I'm a kid from the Dominican Republic who, a lot of people have heard this, but I come from dirt floors. The first entrepreneur I've ever saw, not realizing she was an entrepreneur, was my grandmother. Like, she would do charcoal. She would buy the big bags and cut them into small little bags and flip them, right?
Okay.
So retail it. She would sell, I remember her selling, she would boil beans in the Dominican Republic, which is very popular, and sell it to the people that were cooking. Because, a lot of the households, they cook a lot of rice and beans, as you could imagine, right? And she did little things that at the time we didn't realize that it was just an entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah.
And that's what shaped me, right? Like, I never remember my grandmother ever asking for help or having to depend on her kids to financially support her. And, when you're in the moment, you don't realize that that's what's happening. You just see grandma doing her thing. But the level of resiliency I saw in her, like, she never backed down. I remember making deals as a kid right next to her with the guy that brought in charcoal or something like that. And she will always try to bargain and get it for less so she can. So that was cool.
Do you still have some of those negotiation tips today?
Yeah, I do. I really do. I'm really good at buying.
Okay.
So that I can give it away.
That's a great way to use negotiation right there.
Yeah. We do a lot of giving through our restaurants and, in community outreach or, a lot of local church or ministries or this Joy Soup or something like that. Like, one of the cool things we do is that we have the ability to give some of that stuff away if we can, or charge less depending on whatever the catering needs are, because we try to buy it for the right price.
That's awesome. What's your favorite project that you've done to date when it comes to like giving, like what you just described?
God, Lee, we've done a lot of that. I remember during COVID, I think the coolest thing happened. I realized we were going to be shut down during COVID. And although we were never shut down, I told the team and I talked to my wife and I said, guys, we got a bunch of groceries out back. That's when they stopped. That was the moment when they stopped doing school. Like, school stopped. And I realized a lot of people reach out to us and say, hey, there's a bunch of kids who their meals depending on whether they went to school or not. And I was like, well, that's kind of crazy because now we're going to have a bunch of kids at home who are not going to be able to get their meal, a full meal. So we picked up all the groceries we had in the bag and we put it in bags. There's some pictures on our Facebook page. We picked up all our groceries, everything we had in the freezer, everything we had in the cooler. And we said, we're going to shut down for a couple of weeks or whatever this looks like. That stuff's going to go bad. And I remember putting it up in small shopping bags, T-shirt bags, and people coming out of the wazoo to the front of the restaurant just to pick up the groceries. And then we started, community kind of got on board with us, and then they started helping us do deliveries. And that was kind of cool, to see community comes together. Greenville comes together for the right things all the time. I tell people all the time, Greenville's like this place that we might go at each other on social media every now and then, depending on politics or whatever the topic might be. But the moment someone in Greenville has a need and is known, this town just does what it does.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Now, so back to grandma. I want to get back. I want to jump back in there. You said you were watching her like as a young boy. What was that like? How did watching her like doing business, even though you didn't realize what it was, how did that impact you as a child?
It's the way I do business. my grandmother had a bunch of sayings. You know, old people got a bunch of sayings, right? She used to say, "Haz bien y no mires a quién." Like, always do good, no matter who's in front of you. Like, it doesn't matter who you're dealing with, just do good. And those are the same things we still kind of carry through our businesses. And she had a bunch more, but I remember just seeing her getting it done. You know, while everyone complained about the economic environment, or, oh, this is not working out, we don't know whether this makes sense or not. Like, I never remember my grandmother complaining. I really never heard not even about pain. You know, as you get older, certain aches, not even that. Like, I don't remember. She's you know, when people ask me, or I had the conversation with my son, who's my superhero? Like, my grandmother's my superhero. Like, she could conquer anything, you know? And I try to carry that kind of same mentality. I kind of drill that to my kids, making sure that they understand that complaining only does one thing, nothing. It's got to get done. And we carry that through our businesses, kind of not let the economic and the environment dictate how well or how successful you can or could be. A lot of people during COVID kind of turned the other way and said, well, restaurants are failing. And, you know, as a community, as a business, we brought in the right technology. Back then, I know right now DoorDash and all these things are common, but back then we had our own app, you know, on the governor's giving orders to shut the thing down, and I have apps ready. I reached out to Josh. I said, Josh, we need to start selling food in tray, uncooked steaks and pork chops. We started selling pina colada kits. I mean, we evolved, and then I think the best thing that happened to Greenville is that the small mom and pops shops, we came together, right? Mm-hmm. We put together a T-shirt that said we believe in Greenville. Josh was kind enough to, you know, which is something that I always try to give him. I give him a hard time when I'm with him, but I always talk nicely about him behind his back. Josh does a lot of great stuff, and I called him for a video for We Believe in Greenville. We did that, and man, there's a lot of restaurants that I can say that we got saved by the whole thing. We let the community know that we were all in it together, and we believe in Greenville, and we still do.
How do you think that changed, like, the relationship that you have with other restaurant owners before COVID and now, like, having experienced that together?
I think it made us stronger. I think prior to COVID, I think I try to reach out to all my guys and girls in the industry as often as I possibly can, right? And I don't know that any other city has what we have as far as local restaurant owners. I really don't think so.
What do you think makes us different?
We care for one another. Like, I don't want to see my closest friends are people in our industry. You know, people that I know, because of what we do, we don't hang out as much as we would want to, right?
Right.
Because we're going every day of the week. But these are folks that I can call and say, hey, I'm down, come over. You know, Jeremy is one of the guys, I love him, from Basil's, you know. Yeah. Richard from Luna, I mean, those guys are, it's been proven. My crazy brother from Starlight, Toby, you know, like we got a good crew. We lost one of our good ones who was Leo, and we lost him to, unfortunately, mental health, who he actually, I think he sealed the deal for us, right? Like, Leo was always the guy that led us in a lot of the things without even us knowing that he was leading us, right? Mm-hmm. And even with this whole mental health situation, he was once again the guy that was at the forefront, and with his passing brought everybody together and brought some awareness of some of the things that we were dealing with, right? Because in our industry, COVID, what it did for us more than anything else was we went through a time of trauma, and we had no time to get back. You know, like, people go through trauma and they go in survival mode and they make it happen, they push through, but there's got to be a healing process. Well, a lot of the restaurant guys, a lot of restaurant folks, we have not had the time to, you know, take a back seat and, let me just get healed. It's a different breed.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, like, I think what you're sharing about you, like what you did through COVID and like being willing to try all these different things just to make it work. And like you said, when you heard the governor's orders, you had to shut down, you were ready, right? It sounds like your grandma. Like it sounds like the same thing that you witnessed as a child.
100%. Euphemia.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's her name.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you're watching your grandma growing up. When did you come to the States?
Oh, so a lot of people get surprised that I know that not only the date, but it was May 28th, 1999. It was at 2:08 p.m. I landed in Newark, New Jersey. And I had a suitcase with 2 sets of clothes, and that was it. In $5, I tell the story several times about Tia Gladys, who gave me $5 and said, go and make it, and that's all that I brought. In that same note, I remember telling myself, like, I can only go up, right? I mean, I got $5 to my name, 2 sets of clothes, but I had America to come to. And that was the difference. That's why I felt that I was as excited and as wealthy as I felt. Like I was coming to America. You couldn't tell me nothing, Well,
what were you expecting, like, when you got to America?
What it represents, the value that it still represents. Yes, we are under a crazy political climate where we can no longer have normal conversations about party lines or how we feel about a candidate or anything like that. I think that's divided us tremendously, but the values and what America still represents to the rest of the world, I think is a lot of times taken for granted by those of us who live here. America still is a shining light, and that's why would you not be excited about going to the country of opportunities, right? Like that's what America has truly been known for. To a kid from a third world country where chances are if I didn't make it in baseball, I was gonna live below the poverty line. You're telling me you're going to America, you're not gonna be excited? I was the wealthiest man in that plane. Because of that.
That's awesome.
You can't tell me nothing. I'm going to the USA, baby.
Yeah. It's really cool. Like, I have goosebumps, like just you sharing that story. That's so cool. Yeah. So you get to America. What's next?
So I go to Passaic, New Jersey. This is in northern New Jersey. I go there. There's an apartment. Mom, that not so much what America promised at the beginning. But mom's got 2-3 jobs just to be able to keep up with. I get a job at, America's first job, McDonald's, right?
All right.
Robert, at our C12 group, Wade Dixon, I remember telling the story that McDonald's was my first job, and golly, was I excited, I get to have hamburgers and French fries, golly, and get paid. So that was my first job. I was working. I remember I worked from 2:30, I would finish work at school. So 3 p.m. I was already on the job. I remember supposed to leave at 11 p.m. like every high school student would, But I remember that in that store, we were able to clock in under somebody else's name and still get paid. So what I did, I remember a guy named Paulino. I said, hey, man, would you share with me your clocking number and I'll stay and, just those hours, can we just split it? So I did that for a long time. So at the time, my grandmother, again, had taken a loan just for me to get the process of getting my residence and, what we know today as a green card, and go through the process of go to the embassy and get all the vaccines and all the stuff that you need in order to come to the U.S. It's a huge process. There's a lot of stuff that's not known about the process on the other side because everybody said, just why don't you do it the right way,
Yeah.
Not knowing what the right way, and especially not even knowing the right way. What does that look like? So my grandmother had taken a loan of $48,000, and I was working.
This is in late 90s. Wow.
That's a lot of money.
To imagine what that is
today. It's a lot
today.
of money today.
Yeah.
You guys are talking about today's a lot of money.
Oh, no, I'm saying, like, it's a lot, like 48 grand is a lot today, but imagine, like, what, that's crazy.
So she took that loan just so that my mom and I can go through the process of me getting my papers.
Yeah.
To come to the States. So to everybody that might have some questions. I'm legal. I'm legal. I came in here legally. And I pay that money within a year and change from working from 2:30 at night to 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I would go to sleep 2, 3 hours, have some whatever, go to school because I was still in school. I'm a 15, 16-year-old kid, and I'm working from 2 p.m. to 3 in the morning every night, Monday through every day, Monday through Monday.
Monday through every day.
Yeah. And, but we, it felt pretty cool to know that my biggest fear was, this is my grandmother's not only household, this is my grandma, this is everybody's. You know how grandma is that kind of anchor to the whole family? Like, that's what this thing represented. And I had that worry the entire time.
So is that kind of what drove you when you got to America to work?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I think the promises are, right? Like, America still promises to work hard. We see some of that, unfortunately. Our dollars, they're not worth as much as they used to, right? Like, we all know all this stuff. But America still promises hard work and get some rewards, right?
Yeah.
Is it less truth than it was back then? I don't think so. I really don't. I think that you can still get ahead, with the right foundation and the right work ethic and the right desire and the right drive, right? So I think America still promises that. So that's what motivated me. I think the promises of, I remember being a 16-year-old kid. In my closet, I had a bunch of U.S. flags. Like, I was determined to join the Navy or the military because I was going to serve America. And I couldn't join because I got flat feet, is what the guy told me. I took my ASVAT test, I went through the whole process. But I wanted to serve America because I do believe, I really, really, really believe on the ideals that this country was founded on, and to think that we have allowed animosity, and I believe there's some faith stuff that's gone in the way that don't allow us to see America for what it really is, right? And what it has been and what it represents. That's distracting everybody, and everybody's in their corner, and everybody's has their own versions of America. And we all go at each other thinking that ours is right. And
right.
That's not going to do any good.
No, it's not. And I think like your story is just like the perfect example of like what many call like the American dream.
Yeah.
So you're in New Jersey, you're working at McDonald's in high school. Like, all right, so do you graduate high school? Are you like 18 when you graduate, or how
I'm
does
18.
that go?
You want to hear something crazy?
Yeah.
I'm a high school dropout.
Okay.
2 weeks away from graduating.
2 weeks? What made you?
Because I could.
It's America.
It's America, baby. Honestly, it was inexperience. Not having the right guardrails.
Yeah.
Prioritizing maybe the wrong things. Got accepted to a really good school, and no, I think that I don't have anything against education. In fact, I encourage it. I'm one of those guys. Like, my son is in college, right? Mm-hmm. So obviously, I support that stuff. I do believe that there was a shorter way for me back then. Mm-hmm. I also believe that there's many things that need to be touched here in America, and I think education is one of them. Higher education. Definitely. I'm one of those guys that believe that there should be trade schools. Mm-hmm. Entrepreneurs should have a different conversation than the guy who wants to be a mechanical something, I do believe that the education needs to shift a little bit and be according to whatever the desires of the individuals are. For me, I just saw an opportunity in business from day one. Yeah. And if I really tell the story, I think you guys will laugh at me, but I was selling North Face coats in high school. Like, I was flipping them. I got a guy that had a connection at the mall. He was able to get them for less from the factory, and I was selling them inside the school. And
like to other people at school, like students?
Yeah, to all the students. And people at McDonald's, right?
Yeah.
It's New Jersey.
I sell hamburgers and I sell North Face.
I did. I would get them back then for $210. People would give me $350 for them. They were
Nice.
worth 400 or 500. You know, like the nice North Face in the winter.
Yeah.
In Jersey, it's
Yeah, 'cause
brutal.
it's cold up there. Yeah.
And I mean, I had a gig going, so what do I need to go? What?
2 weeks away.
2 more weeks. I could be. How many North Face jackets could you sell in
You
2
know
weeks?
what I mean? Like, I ran a profit and loss statement. I was like, let me tell you this.
Opportunity cost.
Now,
Yeah.
at what point do you meet your wife?
My wife, we met in 2000. Well, not met. I ran into her again.
Okay. When did you guys first meet?
So she doesn't, that's why I'm saying not met, because she doesn't remember me in the Dominican Republic. But I remember her, like we went to the same school. in
Yeah,
the
so
Dominican
y'all are from the
Republic.
same.
Same town, La Romana, same little barrio, Villa Verde, which is why we named Villa Verde our restaurant, which also means Greenville. Shameless plug. And the cool thing is that we knew each other. She knew my family. I knew her.
And you guys just bump into each other in New
I
Jersey?
ran into her in Jersey in 2001, and I was like, "Yo, you remember you used to wear? Remember the little nice? It's like, and because we back home we used to wear uniforms at school, and her uniform were always pristine. Like it was so nice, and she was always well dressed. Not me, and I remember I was like, "You're so and so." She's like, "Okay." Kind of creepy, but all right. And it went from there in Passaic. So I ran into her in Passaic, and this in 2001. I said, the moment she allowed me to date her, I was, it took me a little while. Very, very traditional, very Dominican driven, very culture driven, and old school. She wasn't just having me over or, we're going to start talking. There was none of that. Like, it was full commitment. And 6 months after that, we were married.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you guys get married in Jersey. How do you get down to Greenville?
That's a loaded question, because if you ask me, it's one version. Ask my wife, is another version.
What's Jay's version of
Well,
this?
I'll tell you the God version.
Oh, okay.
Right? Because at the end of the day, my wife and I concluded, now that we're a little bit more of age, we realize that God was in that mix.
Yeah.
And I mean, I couldn't have been pointed to Greenville, North Carolina from New Jersey for I didn't go to college here. There was nobody I knew. Like, there was nothing in Greenville, North Carolina that brought me to Greenville, North Carolina. But I worked for Lowe's at the time.
Hardware
In Greenville, in Passaic, New Jersey.
Okay.
And crazy enough, my son comes home from school, tells me that Mr. Jeff had dropped an F-bomb. And my wife and I had conversations about leaving Jersey already, because it just got crazy up there a little bit.
You're saying like the teacher at his school was like, oh.
He's 3 years old, my son. And he said, Mr. So-and-so, just Jeff, I remember his first name. I don't remember his last name. Mr. So-and-so just dropped an F-bomb. Ooh, he's telling me, like, complaining because he knew that he wasn't allowed to do that. It's not a thing. And I looked at my wife and was like, okay,
This is it.
we got to go. And I applied. I was with Lowe's. I applied for a position in Wilmington. I applied for a position in Florida. The company at the time offered me a couple of different spots because I spoke Spanish. They were growing in Mexico big time. They're just opening up in Canada at the time, or at least trying. And I took Kinston. Which is
So
crazy.
you go from Jersey to Kinston.
But I never lived in Kinston.
Okay.
K-Town.
Yeah, K-Town, baby. So I go to Kinston store, and I drive through the middle of the night. And as my wife and I, we're driving down this way, we're going, it's dark. Remember back then, it was 2007, GPS were not as, efficient. It took us through the backwoods. I'm talking the backwoods. And I wake my wife up. I was like, I think I made a mistake because it's dark. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm in northern New Jersey, right? So I'm in the city. And turn off the lights on the thing as I'm driving. I mean, just you couldn't see anything. was like, oh my God, I think I blew it. And we get to Highway 70 to Lowe's in Kingston, and we kind of finished the rest of the night there. We got there around 4:30, and we stayed there till the store opened, my wife and I. And this is how I knew I was in a special place. I walked into the Lowe's store. It looks completely different, a lot more laid back than Passaic. And the HR manager, Mike, says, "You're the guy from Jersey." He had not seen a picture of me.
He just knew.
He just knew. I said, "Yes, sir, I am. I'm the guy from New Jersey. Are you Mike?" And he says, "Yes. We were waiting for you." I was like, "How do you know that I was the guy from Jersey?" He said, "You ain't from around here." I was like, "What?" He said, "Yeah, man, you just look different. Just take that." I was like, but he's from Pittsburgh. So that was pretty cool. He was able to talk to me in that way. And I was like, it is incredible, at a Lowe's store, which is, a high volume store, that people still know each other. They know the people that go shop every day. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Not in New Jersey, right? It's a fast pace. You got people coming in and out. But it is community to that level here. So I came there, come to Greenville, North Carolina. I stay there. Mike tells me, "You want to work in Kingston, but you want to live in Greenville." Because that's what I do. I said, "Man, that's a 45-minute drive." He said, "Just trust me."
Yeah.
So I met a real estate agent out here, and she showed us around, and that's how I came to Greenville.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you're in Greenville, you're working at Lowe's, and how does Villa Verde come about?
Again, I'm in the U.S. You know what I mean? I'm in America. You're not gonna just sell me on a portion of the dream. You want
the whole thing.
Yeah, that's what I came for, right? So you got all these great things, benefits, insurance, You don't tell an entrepreneur that that's important because it's really not, right? At the end of the day, I had a cap, right? I was making great money. Remember I said I was a high school dropout, so the money I was making was more than I should have gotten pay. But just, there was a cap. It didn't matter how hard I worked. It didn't matter. I mean, someone else was dictating our future. And you guys know Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful. As I'm sitting in the food truck watching Shark Tank, because I had no customers, he said something that forever changed my life. He was fired from his first job. And when he left, and he was fired because he was in the bathroom for too long. So when he comes out and gets fired, he left out of that place. And he said, and he's tearing up. This is Mr. Wonderful. He said, "I never wanted anyone else to have that much power over my life and my finances." So, whoa, that's deep. He said, "Never again." He's sitting outside the mall where he got fired from. And I remember him saying, "And today I can bulldoze the whole thing and just build whatever else I want." It's like, that's America. That is America. And I didn't want a portion of it.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you want to be able to bulldoze Lowe's?
Yeah, I don't think I can yet, but
If our Lowe's just happens to one day,
I might be able to do.
I'll be like, "Jay,
I
hold
might
up
be
now."
able to do the garden center at some point, but no. But no, I didn't. I had a cab. I had a tab. It doesn't. Your drive and your determination didn't make a difference on what the outcome would be.
Right.
So that drove us to kind of do our own thing.
So you start with food truck.
Started with a food truck. I told my wife 3:00 in the morning. I found what we were going to do for the rest of our life. I got a job at Purdue Farms. They gave me a huge opportunity, almost triple the pay at Lowe's, and potentially bonuses and all this other stuff and benefits. The so-called benefits that keep people in handcuffs. They're called golden handcuffs. They really are. So I just went to that store. I went to that company, and I didn't like the way they handled, not the way they did business, but generational speaking. There was people there that have worked there for 33 years. I remember giving an award to a dad one day, and the next day his son, and about 2 weeks later his grandkid.
Mm.
And it felt awful. I didn't realize that they were. I just started connecting the dots, and I got them all together. I was a supervisor with a superintendent, whatever the title was, and it stood for everything against everything that moves Jay, right? And I couldn't stand for that. Again, it works for them. It works for a lot of the people there. It gives incredible opportunities to a lot of people like myself. But I just couldn't do that. I had struggled to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
I had this not like it don't matter how much you do, you always feel like you're coming from behind. Not that it feels any different in the restaurant. But at least you control some of the outcome. And I just woke my wife up and I said, I know what we're going to do. There's a food truck for sale and on Craiglist. You guys may not, Craiglist. You guys know what
My
Craiglist
dad
is?
loves Craigslist. I don't know if it's really as much of a thing.
It still is. It still is for us old farts, right?
Craigslist is still popping.
It is. It is. Yeah, Villa Verde is there because of Craiglist, right? So the connection with Massimo and some of the other restaurant, right?
Yeah.
Massimo with another restaurant guy that we love and pushed me to do this thing.
Mm-hmm.
He connected me with a guy named Prieto from Robertsonville, La Caseta, and I was able to pick up that food truck, and that's kind of the whole thing got started.
So I guess, have you always liked to cook?
Nope. This is America.
He's gonna learn to love it.
No, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh, Jay, we're so glad you're living out of your dream of being a restaurant. And I was like, I never saw restaurants.
So you didn't set out with was it just
No,
whatever business
So
kind
an
of presented
opportunity.
Yeah.
I saw an opportunity, right? Now, I think restaurant's the right fit for a guy who has. Oops, sorry. I think the restaurant are we good, Josh?
Yeah, you're good.
You ruined the whole podcast.
Do I need to push this back?
You're okay.
I think I do.
Yeah, push it.
I think it's just the right fit for a guy like me, right? It takes people.
Yeah.
You cannot. I think if I run into a business that took desk, office work only, I struggle in COVID. I mean, Josh actually helped us put together something called Community Voices with the podcast there because I felt lonely.
Yeah.
Business was great. Best numbers we've ever had.
In COVID?
Yes, we crushed it. And so did a bunch of other guys. But the dining rooms were empty.
Yeah.
That's where most of my energy comes from. Interaction with people. And it was Jay's first experience with something really unknown in the Latino culture. Panic attack or anxiety, right? Whatever it's called, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how did that happen?
I didn't have people. I was struggling. I didn't have a human connection. I remember, I don't know if you guys remember, but COVID, you were supposed to die if you came in contact with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So all the pressure of having to continue to push a business forward while it's still responsible for, at the time, the life of those individuals working with you and our customers.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were literally holding people's lives. Or imagine living with, I got a guy named Siervo who worked for me. He's a father to 2 kids. Like I got people who have responsibilities, and he's the one that always kept popping up. Like he was older, so I always struggle with, man, what if Siervo gets sick?
Yeah.
Am I being greedy? Man, should I just shut it down? Because if Siervo gets sick, he wasn't going to get sick. He was going to die. Remember that? Because he's old.
Mm.
My mom worked with me. Am I going to be responsible for killing my mom?
So these are the kind of thoughts that are like running through your head.
I mean, the enemy's tricky as heck.
Yeah.
He knows how to pull certain strings. And the dining rooms were empty. I didn't have the feedback from our customer base. A lot of people were loving us on social media, but guys, I'm gonna be honest with you.
It's not the same.
I was social media everything, and I think for the last year and a half, I've done very little social media, which it's not smart, but it's also not real.
Yeah.
So I struggle with that. So that was my first. I go home and I listen. It was a Tuesday night, and I get to my house. I get everything off, go through my process, spraying things off. Crazy stuff, because I'm exposed to a lot. And I have my own little room where I went in and did my thing to not come in contact with the family right away. And I don't know if you guys remember that there was a little clock counting how many deaths.
Yes.
Remember that?
Just kept going.
And it kept going up and up and up and up and up. And I just lived there for a little bit, and I ended up. I'd never been to the hospital. That was my first experience, because I like, oh my God, this is crazy. What's gonna happen? Next thing you know, I'm breathing harder, and my chest is getting tighter, and my left side starts hurting. Eddie, I'm having a heart attack. So my wife drove me to the hospital. I said goodbye to my kids. As I'm going to the hospital, I'm on 10th Street, so I get to see Villa Verde 1, which is at VV1, our store on 10th Street. Right by the hospital is Villa Verde 2. So that was the last thing I saw, and I remember telling myself, man, this is the last time I saw those signs. So I'm going in. I'm having a heart attack. Like, I'm serious. I'm telling you guys, I didn't know what a panic attack. That's not crazy popular in the Dominican Republic, especially when I grew up. So I go in and I'm telling the nurse, hey, listen, whatever you got to tell me, just tell me. Don't stress my wife out. Like, I'm okay. I know where I'm going. Like, I'm giving the whole. And they run an EKG and do everything. And luckily, it was somebody who knew me, and we still joke about it these days. And she comes in, she's a doc, and she says, "Jay, you had a panic attack." I was like, "What? What do you mean? Like, okay, so where's the heart attack?" "No, that's it. Like, it was just a panic attack."
You're like, but what happens next?
Yeah, so when do I die? Like, somebody needs to tell me. When
Like,
is
I
it? Because I
already
need to arrange. Yeah.
In my head,
I
said
need to be able to
goodbye.
talk to my family. I need you to tell me when am I dying. No, like, you can go home now. What? You're crazy. Because I know I'm dying. So, yeah.
So what was that like? Like, coming home from that, you're convinced you're having a heart attack and you're going to die. You come home.
Crazy, confused. You got to get back to it. What is a panic attack? Guys, I'm a male from the Dominican Republic who grew up in America. We don't go to doctors, It's not the norm for a guy to be, like, we die, we drop dead, and that's it. Like, there's no in between. Like, we go from working to dying. That's what we've been raised to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And a man doesn't complain about, what do you complain about your chest? What's wrong with you, man? Rub some dirt, And coming home is like, okay, so what is this? And not only what is it, but how do I deal with it? How do I don't get another one? Because that felt awful.
Mm-hmm.
And I got really engaged and started looking into other dudes who were going through the same thing, and come to find out a bunch of our guys, even in our restaurants, even in, not only in our business, but community-wide. Like, I opened up conversations about that. And I remember we held another one of these setups at after Leo's passing with Josh, and talked to a few of the restaurant guys, and opened up a little bit about, hey man, guys, I'm gonna be the one transparent here. I know it's not gonna look pretty, but I'm a little scared. What is this thing? Is it going to come back? Oh, yeah, you have another one. What? You have many more. And depression. What do you mean depression? What is that? Why? I mean, you're depressed. You're weak. I mean, that's what we train to think, unfortunately. And society pushes us, especially, I think now is a very open topic, but now when I grew up depressed, man, shut up. Get over it. You'll be all right. Are you crazy? You couldn't tell anybody you were feeling depressed because you'd be made fun of. I know I couldn't, Yeah. But I didn't know. But I also never dealt with that, Anxiety is the future of unknown, and depression is the surplus. I mean, a lot of us get depressed because life is just complete, and some way, somehow, we're gonna have to. The enemy figures out a way to trick us into thinking that it's over, and it's really not.
So how did your relationship with Christ change when you had that experience?
He was the one that carried me over. I had to surrender it to him and understand that there's been very few times where I didn't have an answer because according to me, I knew a lot of things, or at least was capable of pushing through them like my grandmother did. But this one, I had to rely on him. And Chris Miles, another business owner,
I know Chris.
You know Chris.
I feel like he has so many nuggets of wisdom.
Oh, he's incredible. Like I've been surrounded by great people. That's been my virtue, right? We prayed through that. We really did. And I remember Chris, he has a cross at his house, a big old cross he has out back. And we wrote down on the rock some of these things, anxiety and stress and all these things that were holding us back a little bit. And we went and put it at the feet of the cross. And
that's so cool.
That's kind of where it stayed. Had to surrender to him because I know I was not going to. I mean, you can't control it. And I remember crying literally at my wife's feet. Like, it got to the point that I just couldn't handle it. A lot of people never heard of that coming. I mean, they would have never known because I came and it was all smiles. And the reason I was crying was because I told my wife, I don't want to live my life out of a bottle. I don't want a bottle to control how I felt through the day. Because immediately everybody goes to medications and the stuff that, again, nothing wrong with that. That's where you're at, by all means. But, the source of all peace is Jesus Christ. And that's kind of what brought that back. And I'm in America.
That's what it always comes back to, right?
Yeah.
Jesus in America.
Jesus in America, baby.
I mean, I think it's cool how you were able to take that experience and open it up to other restaurant owners and people who have experienced it. But like you said, no one really wants to talk about it because it's not very fun to talk about. But in reality, a lot of business owners, I think it's just the pressure of, like you said, staff and I told you I was reading that Victorious Living article that you wrote. And one thing that you said in it that really stood out to me was that sometimes as a business owner, when you're managing like a staff and you're responsible for customers and all these things, it's easy to get to a point where you feel like you're responsible for what's going to happen to them. Right. And how you kind of can you tell me about how you came to the conclusion that that wasn't your role to be responsible for what happens to your employees or to
how
else?
I came to it is Jesus, right? But the reality of it is that a lot of times we allow the world to dictate a lot of, what our role is. And, I'm responsible to them, not for them. I still got to carry myself with certain standards. And there's, especially as a Christian business owner, that adds an extra layer of pressure.
Yeah.
But the reality is that we're not, and how I came to that is because for the longest time, I was Jay from Villa Verde. And I'm not Jay. My identity is not Villa Verde. My identity is Christ.
Right.
And that's kind of where, everybody that sees me. Today I had a conversation with a former elected official, and the first thing he asked me is, Jay, how's business? That's where everybody goes to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing great. Business is good too. It's like, and that was Kat Nail from Hope of Glory. She asked me one time, Jay, how you doing? And I share these many times. I went with my script. Business is great. Things are clicking. Family's great. Life is good. All glory to God. Like I said all the right things, but they were all lies.
Yeah.
And
that's what your condition is. It's what everybody says when you're exchanging.
How's business? So Kat stopped me and she said, no, Jay, I'm asking you how you're doing. I just told you, dummy. Life is good. Business is great. My wife loves me. All glory to God. I said all the right things. And she said, no, I'm asking you how you're doing for real. I want to know. And I remembered stopping and realizing that I didn't know how I was doing. I had no idea how I was doing. No clue.
Well, see, like you said, kind of in survival mode, trying to operate at a certain level. Yeah.
Every day. So I had no idea. And after that, I try to be mindful of that. And when you ask how you're doing, to really mean it, you want to hear it. Because some people are not doing well. And I'm not doing well every day. So my identity is Christ, not Villa Verde, not Harvey's, not Bella Green, not food trucks, not VV Dolls, none of that. Not even my kids, my identity is Christ. And once you figure that out, it kind of helps a little bit. But you forget it every now and then again.
Yeah.
It's kind of being mindful. You are, Villa Verde and restaurants is what I do, is not who I am. And coming to that it's taken a lot of work. Yeah.
So one thing that you mentioned was, you need to be reminded of it. Mm-hmm. You mentioned C12 a little bit earlier. Could you just quickly tell us, like, what is C12? And
C12.
But other people listening might not know, Jay.
C12 is an incredible group of entrepreneurs that comes together once a month to work on the business. And our mission is to bring Christ to the marketplace. It's pretty simple. So C12's mission is to build better business for better purpose and greater purpose. And that's our purpose, is to bring Christ to the marketplace. And we try to do that. I found some of my worst critics at C12, because that's what they do. But they do that because they love me and they help me. They don't just critique what we do or how we do it, but they're part of that journey that helps us be better and get better.
That's good.
Yeah, that's C12.
Thank you. Well, I think I want to, before we wrap up, we've talked a lot about like the goal of what we want to talk about, which is the behind the scenes of what it's really like to run the business. But I feel like we can't fully close out. I know we talked about you own Villa Verde, 2 locations, Bella Green and Harvey's. Can you give us just a quick snapshot of what are each of those restaurants? What need do they meet in the community? What kind of,
Yeah. So Villa Verde came out of the food truck. It's on 10th Street, 2601 East 10th Street. Shameless plug again.
This is not a shameless plug. We brought you here to tell us.
It's our first store. It's our baby. It's a full sit down, full dining experience. We serve Dominican cuisine there, and when people ask me what Dominican cuisine is, they get a little confused. Is it Mexican? No, it's not Mexican, but it's not different than we serve from steak, chicken, pork, the same stuff you will eat here in the States. We just season it. Sometimes a little better. No. And we got a great group of people working there. We bring a different flair of chicken, and we add a little bit more lime and mint to our mojitos. So we got mojitos, we got lobsters, we got chicken, we got steak, and you name it. Then Villa Verde Dos is kind of the same thing, but more of a fast casual environment for the hospital crowd, so they can get in and out. Our goal is to get you in and out within 7 minutes after you get in. And we did you can build over 1,200 different combinations. You can get the same thing the same Villa Verde every day for a long time and not eat the same meal, right? So that's kind of the goal for that. Then in 2021, right, because of faith, because of we believe in Greenville, we were offered the idea of picking up Harvey's, which is a long Greenville restaurant. You know, it's been here since 1962. From what we've read so far and talking to the family, and it's been great. And we picked that up in 2021. It's the breakfast place. So Harvey's, when I'm talking about good old Southern breakfast, that's the spot. Link sausages, all the greasy stuff you can imagine, bacon. I mean, it's fantastic. And recently we opened up Bella Green, which is a Latin sports bar. But it's not just for Latin. Like I tell people, Friday nights we got live music, and a lot of the live local bands. We host them there. We have them there, and we do open mics. We do sports. We do trivia. Same thing you will find at a what you would call a regular sports bar in America. I say a joke that is probably too old now, but it's Dominicans chickens have wings too. So we serve the same chicken wings that every sports bar serves. We just do it with a little bit more spices. Not spicy, more spices.
Okay. So hearing you talk about like how you cook, I want to see if you can offer us some advice. If we're cooking in the kitchen or if someone listening is cooking in the kitchen, obviously you're really good at food. What's one thing that you think someone could do just to make their food taste better? Like if you could boil it down to one tip.
One tip?
Yep.
Let it cook.
Elaborate.
So with this new ways and foodies and everybody that has jumped into now trying to create dishes for Instagram, we have gone into this thing where it's more of a, let me see how good it looks. Let me make it look great so that I can take a picture and make everybody jealous. And we're not letting things cook properly. So, for instance, our pork shoulders at every single one of our locations, we got 0 to 49 pounds. It's marinated for 2 days, 24 to 36 hours, and it's cooked, if it's 49 pounds or less, for 9 hours. Nonstop. It's $275, 9 hours. You don't look at it. You don't touch it. You don't, none of that. You don't open the oven. When the alarm goes off, you pull it out and it's ready. Anything over 49 pounds is 12 hours. But don't question it. Let it cook.
So in short, you're saying good things take time?
Yeah, let it cook. I think that we live in a place where we want McDonald's time on a great meal. And McDonald's is pretty good. They're probably the best about pushing drive-thrus and pushing hamburgers through, but they're the most popular hamburgers. They're not the best.
Yeah.
So take your time.
Yeah. All right. Well, we close out the podcast with a set of questions that we ask everyone, and I'm going to let Hannah
Here we go.
fire them away.
Okay. What's one small thing that has made a surprisingly big difference in your business?
Community. Understanding that we're in this thing together. Like I've always said this. If every restaurant in Greenville shuts down, do my restaurants benefit from it? And the answer is no. We'll become a ghost town. If every other restaurant's failed in my community, then who's going to be here? Who's here? And let's say everybody stays here and decides to come eat at my restaurants. Can I support? No, it's going to be a mess. So it's understanding that we're on this thing together. Like it's going to take community. It's going to take you knowing people. It's going to take. I took my hat off. I'm wearing a Young's hat, and I'm supporting another local business, right? But I wear Parker's barbecue stuff all the time, or you name it. It's this is a family. Like if you don't treat it like that, you won't last in Greenville.
Fair. What's one piece of technology you can't live without for your business?
I think any of us, I mean, everybody, is that book. You know, it's social media.
Mm.
It's such a needed evil these days.
Mm.
It's a window to so many great things.
Yeah.
If you use it as a tool that is called to be. Just don't let it run your life. Because it can't.
If you could go back in time and give yourself one piece of advice, what would it be?
Why would I tell that crazy dude? It's coming. It's happening. Trust the process. It takes time. It's like the same thing we all struggle with is we want it now. What would I tell Jay? You'll be proud of Jay.
That's a good one. Besides your business, what's one passion or hobby that recharges your battery?
People. I don't have to think about that one. People. I mean, it's a human connection. We all need it. We saw what happened when we don't have it during COVID.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kills your spirit.
It does. Godly, we're still dealing with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We got a lot of students who are now graduating from college who have no personalities and they don't know how to interact with one another. They struggle to go up to somebody and introduce themselves.
Yeah.
You know, it's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If someone was coming to visit Greenville for the first time, where would you take them?
To do what?
In general,
Oh.
where
In
would you take
general?
them? You got a new visitor coming to town. Where's the first place you're going to take them?
That's a lot of great places. Take them to my house. That's a good question because I do that a lot, but I go to a bunch of different places. Pittsburgh is definitely one of the stops. You know, you got to, they're trying to do a great job representing Greenville. But we got too many places. Sub dogs, godly. Let's put Greenville on the map.
Mm-hmm.
And then you take them over to where some people may or may not know where Mr. Beast does his stuff and tell them that Mr. Beast lives in Greenville.
Yeah.
You know, that we're a big deal. We really are.
Now, how can people find you online or on social media? All the things.
Villa Verde restaurant on Instagram. Look up, this is going to be hard. Yordandys Bastardo.
Can we just
Can you spell that for us? We'll put it on the screen.
Yeah, Yordandys Bastardo. Google Villa Verde. You find us. Yeah.
Google like we did.
Yeah, like you guys did. Villa Verde.
Well, Jay, thank you so much for
Absolutely.
taking the time to be here. I'm going to sign off and say we'll see you next week. Hope you enjoyed this episode with Jay. And if you like this, subscribe and give us a like. Tell us in the comments what you think of this episode, and we'll see you next time.